Ready platform. So this is exciting. So we want to thank you for just joining us here.
Sabrina, I love your talk.
Oh, thank you.
Great. All
Trying to get
right.
situated here. Okay.
All right. So now we are actually live on the virtually ready platform. We want to welcome everyone. This is the rough cut to the Power of Gym. This is the Power of Gym show. Sean, this is the Power of Gym show. This is Jim T. Chong, the Walkstar, and I'm along with
Jim Meyer from Remax Gold, learning how to post this show onto our Facebook channel while talking at the same time. We are so excited because we have Tracy Ryan, Angela Harville, and Sabrina Cruz. These ladies are doing wonderful, wonderful things in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is, I hear it's kind of a cesspool for perverts. And you ladies are helping women, especially, unfortunately, women of color who are being abducted and abused like crazy. And we don't hear about that because when the little 12-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl goes missing, we see the videos of 100 people marching through the woods trying to find her. But when a woman of color, somebody from Haiti comes here and is abducted or abused, we hear crickets. I don't know why that is, but you ladies are helping to make that different and help make this a better place for everybody. So we really appreciate you. Tracy, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tracy Ryan. I am a personal trainer. I am a mother, and I'm an overcomer of sexual abusive relationships in a different form, I guess, in a different form of human trafficking, so to say. I was lured into an unhealthy, abusive relationship that became sexually abusive, and with many other partners. And I was, I don't know, drugs and alcohol became a coping mechanism for me. And by the grace of a loving God, I was able to leave that situation. With his stepmother came in and gave me a way out. But it's been a long journey of still seeking abusive relationships in other forms, and drugs and alcohol played a huge role. And my hope in my journey, in this newfound journey, is for me to learn how to educate the youth, women that are young, that have been fatherless, and I want to educate them on what to look for and learning how to love themselves rather than seeking sex as a way out. Because I think that so many times, we are living in a fatherless generation, and we don't know. And so we seek out these predators. They come to us and they're deceiving, and they come to us with these things that look really good to us. And we think that it's love, and we get lured into something that's so unhealthy. And we take that on as our own, and it becomes abusive in so many forms. And so that in itself is a form of sex trafficking. And there's so much more that I could expand on, but
well, on your journey, Tracy, not to interrupt, but on your journey, you have met some other wonderful women. Angela, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, I started a page on Facebook called Dare to Be Aware, out of the concern of, I saw an article on Facebook that spoke about over 65,000 Black women and girls being just missing. And I was like, I've never heard of that before. Who are these people? Do they have a name? Do they have a face or anything? And it shocked me to see that there was not much information on individuals. But what happened was I started sharing on my personal Facebook page those who were missing. And out of that came the idea of starting a page called Dare to Be Aware, so that people would be aware of what is really going on in the community. Because when one of us go missing or gets abducted or anything, it's like James was saying, or Jim was saying, it's crickets. And I just wanted to just bring a face to those who are missing, because we all carry value.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to just share that, just from a heart standpoint, and not necessarily anything that had my name in it, but I definitely wanted to put their names out there.
Wonderful. And then, a good friend of yours is Sabrina Cruz. Sabrina, what, tell us a little bit about your story, please.
Well, I love Angela and Tracy because, everybody is kind of contributing to this big mix of supporting community and helping those that are victims of human trafficking. But for me, the impact that it has on my life is that I've been a victim of so many failed attempts of abductions, different forms of trauma. And I was not able to escape those abductions until the year of 2008. It started like from 3 years old all the way up into adulthood. And that's when I got word. It turned into somebody that was actually, this circle of billionaires that were abducting women. And I hit the profile on all the key points: dysfunctional family, single, detached, a divorced mother of children. Nobody's gonna really care if I was missing, so I just ended up having this serious obsessive stalker all the way up into 2008 when I got wind that he had died. So I had to go through my whole life experience. I've always had, like either high profile jobs, and then I would have to go underground for a while to kind of get away from these people that were following me, for a long time, like over 10 to 15 years. And it's just, it forced me to join martial arts because, for one, I needed to feel safe, and I wasn't safe. I needed to learn how to defend myself and to fight back. And that's how I was able to escape a lot of the abductions. That's why they failed. Luckily for me, I screamed loud enough and I was able to fight and cause quite a stir where people would actually come running and take the predator off of me so that I can run and escape. So I was very lucky for things like that. But I, for the better part of what I do now, is I take martial arts because it was a healing journey for me to get my self-power back, my voice, my identity, my assertiveness, to overcome crippling fear, that fear that you're always looking over your shoulder like somebody's going to grab you. And I use that in all of the tools that I've learned from it to dedicate the rest of my life to help women who have been victims of various forms of PTSD, various forms of abuse and trauma, to find their way back to balance and to actually pursue a life filled with peace and pursue their dreams. It is possible to overcome, not only be a survivor, but to overcome all of this trauma and really live a productive life like I have. So I'm an advocate for that. And that's why I stand behind Dare to Be Aware. Each one of us women here that contribute to the mix have a different story, have a different contribution and impact. And for mine, it's on the back end. I'm not like in the front like Angela or Tracy, but I will take the victims and I will help them, rebuild their life and overcome all the trauma that they've experienced. And that's my part in this. And that's why I stand behind Dare to Be Aware, Free International, and All Things Possible, because those two groups right there are international and very instrumental in prevention, education, training, as well as recovery, victims from human trafficking.
So if someone's watching this right now and they have no idea where to go, what to do, anybody can answer this. What's the best thing? What's step number one?
Sabrina, you have the resources. She's a
You know,
storehouse of information.
Mhm.
Oh,
right. And that's another thing that I do is I do stay on top of all the resources that are available in the community to help any individual to meet whatever level of need that they're at currently. So um, a good place would be to, you can either connect with me on Facebook or even the Dare to Be Aware page. You can contact Angela. That one is more of a visible presence for anyone. I don't, that's another, I just want to say this really quickly. If you ever do go to my Facebook page, I don't really post a lot because I'm still kind of getting used to being public again. Um, those are like baby steps for me. But I will put myself out there a little bit more. Like I said, I'm more of a back end person. I'm not a public face for this because I work directly with the victims. But yes, definitely get to Dare to Be Aware's page. You can send a message there. That's easier. Um, I am connected on there. And then if anything, they could leave a message and Angela can contact me and then I will get with that individual and reach out and provide whatever resources they need.
Mhm.
is there like
Perfect.
a phone number that people can call, or is it all online?
It's all online for now.
Uh-huh.
I have not established any numbers for the Dare to Be Aware because it's so new.
Can you
And-
give us the actual website or page that people can go to?
Yes, it's on Facebook and it's called Dare to Be Aware.
Okay.
And it's the only one that's there.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, it's pretty exciting how you, Angela, have seen that people were not paying really attention to the missing as much. There are definitely different groups that are there, but you took it upon yourself to start posting just these individual scenarios, and obviously you're connecting great women together to really help empower them. And this is
Yeah.
obviously a very serious issue, especially dealing with sex trafficking. Would you view yourself like as a primary resource, the community itself, for those that are reaching out and looking for help?
I just see myself as the person who connects people with the resources. And Sabrina is definitely good at that. And I've leaned on her a lot in terms of that. And thank you, Sabrina, so much for
Yes.
joining and being a voice and helping to be a voice. Now, they can definitely contact me on a messenger or on the Dare to Be Aware page, and I will definitely connect them to the right people and the right resources. With mine being new, it is, I'm still kind of treading water, and seeing my
Sure.
way through everything, but I do my best to get them with the proper connections. And then we just take it from there. But that
That's
is a page of information of those who are missing. I just wanted to just put that out there with a picture and a face and a name.
That
mhm.
is great. And now I've seen I read where part of your organization will allow like shop owners or whatever put up a sign,
The businesses.
sort of
Mhm.
like a safe place. Because I mean, I'm thinking if a kid is abducted or missing whatever, and they're out there and they
Right.
go to the mall and they go to the bobblehead store, and the guy behind the counter might not even speak English, but they should look for a specific sign. Tell us about that.
Right.
Well, this was started by Minister Stretch Sanders, and he started the New Era movement. And it's down in the community, like off of MLK and the areas around there with the letter street names,
Mhm.
where those victims who are either trying to get away from a domestic violence situation or someone who's abusing them, they can go into the store. I don't have the sign with me, but I believe that it indicates on there, I think it's called Safe Place or something like that, where
Right.
they can
Mhm.
go into that store and get the protection that they would need, because it's so easy down on those in those areas to walk down the street and, you know, you're witnessing an attack happening. So thank God for his input and knowledge of wanting to, and he even started a blow like a whistle campaign. And right now they are even looking for people to donate to help with him purchasing more whistles when someone feels like they're under attack in those areas.
We're talking about the Las Vegas area, which is kind of
Yeah.
a mecca for horrible things happening to people.
Yes.
And a lot of our viewers are in different areas. So are there other, do you have like sister organizations, or can you like say if someone's in Baltimore or whatever, are you able to take a call from them and then refer them out to someone?
I would be able to definitely connect with him and see what else is out there.
Yes.
Right now, offhand, I don't have that sort of information, but I know that this is something that is spreading throughout the United States, and they're working on it one city at a time.
Right.
So,
But at least all three of you are great as far as you can give advice. So Tracy, you're kind of quiet over there in the corner. What's your biggest bit of advice to say some a teenage girl that is in an abusive situation at home, maybe with her family or whatever, and thinks there's nowhere to go? What do you say to that little girl?
I would say to reach out, to look in her community, to reach out to somebody in maybe at church or any one of us. Absolutely, just trying to find another female to seek advice from, somebody that's somebody that she looks up to, a mentor or a leader, or somebody that she can trust and go to. Absolutely. My biggest thing though is I want to encourage the youth to be aware. We are so, like, the biggest thing I can say is we're so distracted by our phones. And like that is like the number one weapon right now that is being used against us. And I see it everywhere. So I just wanted to put it out there. So many women from youth to our age are walking out of grocery stores and in parking lots, and they're on their phone. That's like key. Like, predators are that is key right there. Like, you are on spot, you're on target, you're being targeted, you know. So many women are just on their phone. Be aware, be a situational awareness, be around of your surroundings, be aware of who's around you. I would rather be I'm just so aware of who's around me at all times. That's my biggest thing. Just
so basically have your spider senses on.
Yeah.
So are there, now you're talking about like a physical abduction, but aren't a lot of people finding people over the internet, building a relationship through Instagram or whatever, and then they come and they meet that person and something horrible happens? Which is more common, just the random abduction or abuse, or the more the one through social media where they build trust?
It's the social media one, because we have so many, if you want to call it this, it's like mainstream America, or even, it's not even America, it's even international, or has a global impact. We're in this state of apathy, you know, where a lot of people are self-involved and not paying close attention. We have a lot of children and youth that are left to themselves. You've got an economic, factor where there are either a lot of single parents with children that are just left to themselves, or even in, having a mother and father there, because of the financial impact. A lot of them are working so much, children are left on their own. They used to call it latchkey children back in the 70s and 80s, but now it's just kind of like the norm. So a lot of children and youth are entertaining themselves on online video games, social media. And then so a lot of pedophilers and predators prey upon these children that are not protected, and they can lure them easily, create a relationship with them, and get them to a point where they lure them away from the home into public places, whether it's a shopping mall, grocery store, gaming store, the park, and that's where they get them. Yeah, it happens all the time. Or even coming to the individual's house when the parents are not there, because they're very keen on tracking the habits of the family and how many hours and what days those children are left by themselves. There's this whole strategy that goes in.
Well,
into
yeah, I mean, you got
these
people
things.
checking in on Facebook and Instagram where they are every minute of
Yeah.
the day. So a predator could easily follow and figure out what your patterns are. Angela, what do you think about law enforcement? Do they play any role? Do they help at all?
Something that I had seen as an article was that, especially those of us of color, when we go missing as youngsters or as teenagers, the first thing they want to do is to peg them as being a runaway
Mhm.
and wait 48 hours.
Hmm.
48 hours, the trail has gone cold. Like,
Right.
where do we pick up from where they left off in terms of being missing? So when their loved ones call and say that their loved one is missing, I mean, and they want to place the label of them being a runaway, now we've lost track in terms of how to even start looking for them once that 48 hours is up.
That's
And
ridiculous. Now, are you saying that the law enforcement they have a different set of rules according to the color of your skin, or is it everybody is treated like
that has been, from what my understanding, the case. I'm not sure if they're working on that now, but I do have a friend. Her name is Tamia Dow, and she is a previous law enforcement, and she's very involved in the community with that, with the human trafficking and all sorts of phases of it. And I believe that she is definitely a positive force in terms of making those changes within the department, within the police department. And she travels worldwide talking about this. So definitely something that could use a lot of improvement on.
You know, one
so there
thing
are
you,
good people trying to do good things. It's just
Yes,
been slow.
yeah.
Trying to bridge the gap. Right.
right. Absolutely.
Now you mentioned there's that 48-hour window, which I can kind of understand because,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that, they're missing for a few hours and all of a sudden, the people that are close to them feel like they really are just really missing.
Right.
What do you recommend to somebody that does know of somebody or believes somebody they really care about is missing? Do they have to wait that 48 hours? What is your recommendation?
Well, I believe that we've got the numbers and the organizations out there that can really get started right away in terms of looking for them. There is one, and I was going to look it up before I got on here, but I cannot remember the name of it. Maybe I can place it in the comments. Organization that does a search, and they go around looking for missing um, kids on the strip and all around. I cannot remember the name of that organization right now, though.
Well, if you find it, you can always post anything on
I
our
will certainly do
page
that.
and
Yes.
on our, and tag us because we would love to be a part of promoting what you guys do.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
And it's really exciting how things and unfortunate situations, of course, in this
Yeah.
case, have pulled together the resources to really help a lot of people in a mass, even nationally. And Angela, kudos to you for starting Dare to Be Aware. And then also, Tracy, with what you do as well in real estate, also having, survived through the whole situation of being abused and really wanting to share your story to help others. Very tremendous story. And of course, Sabrina, just living through what you've been through, just barely escaping these different
Mhm.
situations. You definitely are a wealth of wisdom on people on how to really get away from these situations here. Now, we know that people are in a variety of different situations. They feel different things.
Right.
I'm assuming in this arena as well, speaking to some people that have been victims of other organizations and stuff as well, we want to
Mhm.
help them be able to thrive. To empower them, what do you recommend to them? Because I know that a lot of people, they put on the guilt on themselves, or they're
Right.
just ashamed to really seek out for help. What is the mindset they need to be in, and what is the action they can take on a practical level to be able to get their help that they need and to be able to help others as well?
Yeah, there's some organizations locally that we work with, that I would refer people to. You, uh, there's nonprofit organizations that are trained specifically in what we call trauma informed resiliency. So you want people that are sensitive to the mindset of these victims and create a safe place for them, because it takes time for them to be able to open up and talk about it. First of all, they have to feel safe. And then from that standpoint, they start to learn some coping skills to be able to gain their voice and express what they've been through. And then when you get to that point where you can build a little small level of trust, and it's like baby steps, to get them to open up and to go from there, and then start working through the difficult emotions. And the biggest thing that really kicks them down is the fact that there's the shame factor. It's humiliating, the things that they were forced to do. Um, it's very difficult to talk about. Some people may never open up and talk about it. But one thing that a lot of predators will do to cripple their mind is to make them feel like they're nothing and that it's their fault. And so it's this psychological warfare that they're very good at, to cripple their victims, where they never find their voice. They never stand up and fight. They never really understand what the truth is in the whole situation. So it takes a lot of time with this individual. So you want to go through counseling. A lot of it has to do with overcoming PTSD. And then from there, like I would come in and teach them, martial arts. Like Qigong is an excellent form of martial arts that actually strengthens the mind. It also it's a road to recovery to help them internally and externally with their health. And then, but it also gives them their power back, their strength. And then they're going to be able to take baby steps to get back to where they're mentally balanced and can get on with their lives and see the truth of the matter, what they've walked out of, that there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of courage, and in those victims, to come out of that, to survive and then be on a road to overcome it. Takes very strong individuals to do that. And so to me, it's like every victim that does stand up and try to fight to get their life back, to me, those are my heroes. They're my big, huge heroes, for
Yeah.
what they've overcome. But those are pretty much the steps, is get them into a great support group with PTSD. And then someone that has been trained in trauma, a trauma-informed resilience counselor, that really knows how to work with these individuals, because their mind is so fragile, so fragile.
Yeah. Well, if you know of anyone that could use some assistance, definitely you can go to the Dare to Be Aware page on Facebook as well. And I just want to thank you so much, Angela, Tracy, and Sabrina, just for educating us in terms of how we could also be of assistance if people are in that situation, what they can do, take those first initial steps to talk to somebody as difficult as it is. And, Jim, just any final thoughts here before we end out today?
Well, first of all, ladies, thank you very much for coming on our show. We really appreciate you. And anytime you have something to share, like especially if there's somebody that's missing that you want to come on and talk about, or whatever, just you always have a voice here with the Power of Jim show,
Thank you.
and our 13 listeners.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you for
Yes,
having
thank
us.
you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, we appreciate you, and we'll be sharing this with everybody. And but seriously, some of our shows have had many hundreds of views. So if we can change the life of one person, I think it'll be worth it.
Absolutely.
So Tracy, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to piggyback on what Sabrina just spoke about, because going back to my situation, so yeah, it's kind of difficult because this is a new, I guess it's a new experience for me, kind of really diving into what really happened to me. Was I was fortunate enough to go through a 3-year court program as a result of drugs and alcohol. And I really didn't realize it until recently that what I went through before the drugs and alcohol was a form of human trafficking. And so I want to put that out there, that it looks different. It's not just being abducted, or it can take on many different forms. And listening to Sabrina, I was just kind of taken back, because this is new for me. It's a new development to put it out there. And some of those things that she talked about were exactly what I had to experience. But I was fortunate enough to go through this court program and to see all that. So my therapy came through a court program, and I'm still healing. I'm still going through a lot of that right now. But by the grace of God, I have wonderful women that God put in my life, and this situation. So it's a healing process, but it looks different. I need to put that out there, that it just looks different. Human trafficking is not just being abducted. It comes in
That's
many
right.
forms.
Yes.
Well, I think you're, Tracy, helping a lot of people start the healing process right now just by talking. So we appreciate it. Angela, do you have any final words?
Not necessarily any final words, but there was something that someone had placed on Facebook, and I took a screenshot of it, and it just talked about, I'm going to put my glasses on and read it, but I thought it was just so profound. And this is a Jonah Mix, and he is a human trafficking activist. And he says, I'm not interested in a world where men really want to watch porn, but resist because they've been shamed. I'm interested in a world where men are raised from birth with such an unshakable understanding of women as living human beings that they are incapable of being aroused by their exploitation. And I just thought
Wow.
that was so heavy in terms of what um, women and girls have to face, that are caught up in that.
Right.
And I just see this as being something that's going to be an ongoing fight, even long after we're gone, that where people will pick up the mantle and run with it in terms of speaking up for those who don't have a voice for themselves.
Right, and it's generational, is that you
Yeah.
teach your kids how to treat women poorly,
Absolutely.
or if you're a victim and you're always going to be in abusive relationships and you don't learn the way you ladies have learned to get out of them, you're going to teach your daughters to do the same darn thing. So it's great that the three of you are touching lives and making it so hopefully it stops at this generation for many people. Sabrina,
Absolutely.
let's wrap it up with you. What do you have to say?
Well, I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I've overcome so much and I'm healed a lot. Social media is new for me. You know, that was a big jump for me. So I want to do more, and I know that to support community more, the vision that I see for all of us, especially with Dare to Be Aware, is one day in the near future, it would become so commonplace that it would be like a household word, just like Say No to Drugs. You know, that was a program that started very small in the school system. I would love to see Dare to Be Aware become a household word and be put through the school system in such a high state of advocacy that everyone knows, everyone is equipped and empowered and educated on how to protect themselves, and not only protect themselves, but also spot victims and help them identify, you know, look at the signs. Let's make signposts readily obvious to everyone in the community. And that's how we fight back. That's how we fight back. We band together, we put it out there, and let's all be informed, active advocates and citizens, you know, to fight this, because it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and I
But
think you
mhm,
mentioned something, being informed and
yeah,
just an advocate as well. You know, not just sitting
mhm,
back and just paying attention, but helping get the word out and really being an
exactly.
active part of everything.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. Thank you.
So if you are out there watching this, get involved and share this program with 1,000 of your Facebook friends or YouTube friends, and it will make a difference. We really appreciate the three of you ladies being on here. And so I will give it back to Jim T. Chung, the walk star, as he closes
Yeah.
down our show.
Well, first off, I just want to mention every flame starts with a spark. Clearly, you guys have
Mhm.
been a very magnificent spark on something that is designed to grow really globally. And, you know, I love the fact that you're taking local action. So, Jim, and those that are listening here, let's go ahead and give these three a big round of applause here just for
Yay!
everything that they're doing as well. And so, you know, really being involved, there's one thing to desire to do something great, because everyone wants to be great until it takes time to do what greatness requires. And it really is difficult sometimes for people to move forward. So if you know of somebody that needs that little help, assistance, please contact somebody here that can truly help them. And for you, all of you that are out there, please help us get the word out about this great new organization helping people. And we're here, you know, as the Power of Jim, to be able to do our part to be the difference and the spark in the community. This is Jim T. Chong, the walk star, along with
Jim Meyer from Remax Gold on the Power of Jim.
the Power of Jim, and I'm going to add honorarily Angela, Tracy, and Sabrina too. So thank you all for what you do out there that are listening. Thank you, all three of you, for doing what you do as well. This is Jim T. Chong, the walk star. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies.
Hi, thank you.